Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, Coffee Tea Paper. My name's Louise and each week I try and share the page in my journal, which is basically a memory keeping page with my planner on the left hand side. I also share some other things when I've got some new stationery or I'm swatching some inks, or sometimes it's if I have some questions to ask of the stationery and journal loving community. I haven't been well the last couple of weeks, which has been a bit of a downer. Especially given the time of year. I really had so much earmarked to do in these past couple of weeks, so I've got a lot of catch up ahead of me, but anyway, that's okay. So I thought it would be fun. Normally I do some memory keeping on my page for the week, but at the moment I actually am doing the Café analog December challenge, which Desiree has put the list of prompts on her Instagram, and I still haven't got around to see if it's on their website but it's definitely on their Instagram. So this week, starting the 20th of November, the prompt was making lists, which for me, given my mildly panicked feeling of being 2 weeks behind everything, was actually very timely. So instead of making a whole bunch of lists, I actually use the opportunity to make a list of all the lists I need to make. So, but that's still useful. Haven't actually got around to making any of the lists yet. Oh no, that's not entirely true. Yeah, no, I spoke to my sister-in-law and she's given me a list of foods that I am to cook for their family Christmas, and yes, so I have that list. So that's one thing that's done. I will also need to do a separate cooking list, which is all the special Christmas foods that our little family like to have in the days leading up to Christmas, and on Christmas Eve when we celebrate Christmas together as well. So in the meantime, I'll just potter along doing my page. On the community tab, I put down a poll, and I put that down before I became unwell, but it's really interesting. So I asked people if they were thinking about doing a December daily, or if they always do one, or if they're considering doing one, or what have you. So the three options were: absolutely, I do one every year, which 10% of you chose. And then the other option, or the second option, was no, I just do my usual journal / planning / memory keeping, and 38% chose that one. And the last category, which is the category that I myself fall into, is the I haven't before, but I'm interested to try. And that was 52% of us. I'm including myself there. And so while I was lolling around in bed, feeling sorry for myself, I did have a look on Pinterest, I think, for some December daily inspiration, and it was quite interesting because it seems to be more of a scrapbooking term, particularly on Pinterest, which was not particularly useful for me, because I sort of had in mind something a bit more like Ali. So Ali, from dabbling in journals, I had a look at her videos from last year with her December daily, and that's definitely more along the lines of what I was thinking I would like to attempt this year. So if you do one, if you're one of the 10%, or if you are interested but haven't done one before, the 52%, if you can comment below what style that you're thinking of doing for your December daily. Are you thinking of a sort of a scrapbook type style, or a page per day, or a spread per day, or just doing a collage or art piece, or decorative spread without any text, or there are so many options. I would love to know, and because it's something that I'm definitely interested in trying, and of course if I do, I will share it here. But I am Scott. I do have a lot of catching up to do with all my other things. The other thing, while I was resting up in bed, was I watched an awful lot of YouTube, probably far too much. But that's okay. I also read a lot. I finished a whole book, and I've started another book. I'm about a fifth of the way through, so that was good. But I thought I'd share with you some of the channels that I've been enjoying, and one was, and look, you may have come across these. They're two sort of journaling type crafting channels, and then a third one which has got nothing to do with anything really. So the first one is Seven Plaza, and that's Margarethe from the Netherlands, and she makes really they're quite long videos, which is good if you've got nowhere to go and you're not capable of doing much. But they're really fun. She's very chatty, and it's kind of like sitting down with a crafty friend, and they're really, really fun, and she's got some really interesting ideas as well. Her style is probably more like junk journal, vintage type style, but some really interesting and good techniques that could be applied to any style as well. And here I'm just in the middle of doing this spread. I've really wanted to use my new PET tape that came in the mail that I'd forgotten I'd ordered. It must have been a while, but I ordered straight from the designer herself, which is the Peon 2015 brand, and so that was through her shop on Pinkoi, and it's called, oh good, I'm writing it down, Bird Island. that's what it's called. It's called Bird Island. So of course it has masses of appeal to me with my love of birds, and yeah, the designs are just really, really lovely. And so we'll have a little look at them here. So it's on a like a semi-transparent PET tape, so the images are slightly glossy but not really super glossy, and it's quite a long loop of the designs. If you see there, I'm still going, that's still all different designs up to that point there. So I don't know, that must be over a meter, I feel, and unsurprisingly most of the imagery is of birds. They're fictional birds really, with some little other decorative items and some phrases thrown in to the mix as well. So I was very keen to include some of these on my spread too, because it's new basically and I wanted to play with it. And yes, anyway, so back to some of the other YouTube channels I've been enjoying. So I'm sure if you have looked for any sort of journaling channels on YouTube, you will have come across Tercia Sky Bambi. She occasionally brings out some really interesting luxury stationery goods, and recently did a cruise on, I think it was the Rhine River, maybe it was the Voltava, no, I think it was the Rhine, in Europe, and called the Scribblers Cruise, and it just looked amazing. There were about, I think, 15 or 20 people who went, and it wasn't like a massive cruise ship, it was like one of those river, like luxury river cruises, and just the whole concept of it, like, you know, they'd cycle out to vineyards and journal amongst the vines and have beautiful meals, and then retreat to the boat, and then journal on the I don't know, I want to say poop deck because that's a nautical term. But you know, you get the picture. And yeah, so she had some a walkthrough of her journal for that, and she also has some older material as well, which is still beautiful to watch and very enjoyable. And the other one I've been watching is a channel called Royalty Now Studios, where they look at the historical information about a famous person, and then they use statuary and portraits and photos, if they're available, to create an very, very intensely lifelike image of the person. I'll leave links to those in the description box, but as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget December daily stuff, description box, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.